Gaming news.
Gaming news. What is
Our
happening
list.
in the world of gaming news? I need
Okay,
to pull
I'll
this
go
up here.
first.
Let me just pull this
Let
up.
me see one that I want to talk about quickly.
Let me just open all what?
Oh, I guess since we touched on it, let's go to Valve pulling the plug on
Oh no.
Artifact 2.0.
Oh
So
yeah.
you might remember that Artifact was their Dota themed, Dota inspired card game that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of meant to take on, I assume, Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And the original version of Artifact was actually designed by Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering.
Huh.
Um, but if you've been following the game at all, you'll know that soon after the game launched, he left the team. A lot of people left the team, designers, and it didn't take long. It was a few months after launch that Valve kind of announced that it was redeveloping Artifact into a sort of 2.0 version. I mean, stop me
Yeah.
if you've heard this before. A game launches, it's not received well.
It gets
They try
overhauled.
and reboot that shit. I mean, we missed it last week,
Well,
but
yeah, it was last week. Yeah,
yeah,
Anthem dead.
Anthem essentially went through that process, and EA killed that as well. They are not continuing development on Anthem anymore either. So yeah, Valve was working on a 2.0 version of Artifact, and now in a similar vein, they've just pulled the plug on that. So it's been 10 months of work that they are kind of just throwing in the bin.
It's so sad.
In the blog post, they say, "Well, we're reasonably satisfied. We accomplished most of our game side goals. We haven't managed to get the active player numbers to a level that justifies further development at this time. As such, we've made the tough decision to stop development on the Artifact 2.0 beta."
That
Um,
is, yeah.
So now Artifact 1.0 and 2.0 will be free for everyone.
Oh, so you
Um,
can actually get 2.0 still.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Artifact Classic will be what the original game was, and then you have normal Artifact now. Um, Artifact 2.0 is being called Artifact Foundry, and all the cards in the game can be unlocked and earned in game, so you don't have to buy anything. The blog post says players gain access to cards by playing the game. All cards are earned this way. No cards or packs will be for sale, and Artifact Foundry cards are not marketable. So, straight up, game over for the monetization of this
How,
game.
how funny would it be though that now that the game's been pulled, it finds like this immense audience. Like you can
Could
play
you
this
imagine?
game. You can play this game without spending a cent. Like, cool. Like, let's do it. And then I don't know, it garners like 1 million players or something.
Jesus,
Involved go,
I mean, it's
hmm.
not unheard of. It could definitely happen, and they go, maybe we'll dip back into this world. But it shows
Yeah.
that like even a company like Valve, making a card game is not just making a
You
card
can't
game.
you can't just throw money at a project like it's gonna work. I mean,
No,
I think we've had some really good case studies over the last like 2 years alone. If you look at Valve now with Artifact, think about Amazon with Crucible. Was it Crucible?
yeah, Crucible. God, remember
Like
that?
that is the thing of we're Amazon. We've got Jeff Bezos money. We can just throw money
Yeah,
at a game and it'll be fun. And oh shit, doesn't work like that. And Google with Stadia, like I think Stadia is
yeah, same thing.
like still doing okay-ish, maybe. I don't know.
Well, they closed all their internal development studios, so
Exactly. So it's like you game like we've said before, game development is actual sorcery.
yep.
And even Valve, who like we said, they Portal 2, they make good games, even they can't get the card game right. So I don't know. It's just so interesting. Because Artifact to me is a thing of like Hearthstone's pulling big numbers. You know,
Still, yeah.
it's today still it's
Despite
generating.
people bitching about
Yeah,
Blizzard's monetization of the game,
yeah.
yeah.
Hearthstone still does really well, and then Gwent came about, and I think Gwent is maybe less
This
aggressive
is
with it.
more niche, but it's still,
It's still
I
got
still
like
see people talking about Gwent.
exactly, but those two sort of came about, and it was like, holy shit, card games are the thing. And Valve probably thought, we'll make our own, and
Well, I mean, Gwent came out after Artifact, if I'm not mistaken. And if
yeah,
if you had to ask me beforehand which one would survive, I would have said
Artifact,
Artifact.
yeah.
So this is surprising. But again, I don't hear people talking about Artifact. The only time I heard it come up was when it had bad news. So that says a
So
lot,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Um, now all the Dota artifact players can just go back to playing Dota, I guess.
Amazing. What do you want to talk
Uh,
about next?
your turn. Go for it.
Shall we talk about? I mean, this is just quick news. I just thought this was interesting. Not played the game, but Genshin Impact has made over $874 million in 5 months just on mobile.
Damn.
So just for those of you who don't know, Genshin Impact is very much it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild, like in terms of its art style and open world, whatever. But it's essentially what it's called, is it a gacha game?
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's basically free to play, but there is monetization that you can either buy packs or characters or like, consumables. Like I haven't played the game, but that's from my experience, that's the sort of thing you can buy. And remember, free to play, you can play it for completely free, but sometimes you just want that specific character or a specific
You wanna roll the dice
you want to
on.
roll the dice. So let me stress, a gacha game is you can buy a pack. You're not guaranteed to get what you're looking for. It's a bit like gambling, maybe, dare I say, but like a bit loot boxy. It has made $874 million only on mobile. Remember, this game is available on Switch and PlayStation. Is it on Xbox? I don't know.
Um, I
It's on
don't
it's on
think so.
PC too.
I know they said it's coming to Switch as well, but
Oh, is it not on Switch yet? Okay.
it ran like trash on PS4.
Oh
I'll
my god.
say that. So good luck on Switch.
That is a shit ton of money, let me tell you.
That's a
Holy
lot of money.
hell.
Like you said, Genshin
That's
Impact is you've got all these characters and each character has a certain star rating. So a
mm,
lot of people pouring money into pulling that 5-star character that they love, you know what I mean? So,
it's yeah.
people are loving it. So I can't bemoan it. I played it for a bit and I like the style and I like the gameplay, but I can also see it's a big time investment and I just don't
And
have the time for something like that. So
and with games like that, like the reality is I've played many a free to play game where it always starts out nice enough where they like give you so much shit. You're like, wow, this game's amazing. I can't believe they give me so much free stuff. And it doesn't cost me a single cent, but then you always hit, more often than not, you hit a wall. You're like,
it's
it's
that
just
drug
either,
dealing strategy. They get
yeah,
you hooked.
like it gives you just a little bit, then you get hooked. But more often than not, you'll hit a wall and it's like,
Now I need to pay money.
I could
Mhm.
I could grind this out and it could take weeks, or I could just pay $5 and get it now, maybe. And that's
Although
it.
to Genshin's credit, I've heard very good things about, it does get grindy, but at the same time, it's not egregious about it.
No, but I feel the same about another good example is I played a shit ton of Warframe, which again,
Mm,
completely free to play
another good
game.
example, yeah.
And like the only money I ever spent in the game was like on color palettes. But I spent like maybe $10, $20 on it. But just remember, I put probably more than 100 hours into that game.
I
And
really want to get back into that game.
Warframe was, I mean, I played it so long ago. It's changed so much since then. But like that game is also, there was a bit of grinding, but the problem there is that the grind was actually a lot of fun. So it was like,
Mm.
I'm just going to do
Well,
it anyway.
it's amazing because Warframe is, in a lot of ways, the model that Destiny adopted. So,
Mm,
like, you would love Destiny, I think. But
oh my
listen, if
God.
you ever decide to get back into Warframe in stream, I'm there. I need someone to show me
Warframe.
the ropes in that game
I
because I don't
need
know what
I
the fuck's
need
going.
good friend Garth,
Yes, I remember him played
good
last.
Wookie to come and show me the ropes, because I think he's, I mean, I don't know when last he played it, but I played a lot with him back in the day.
I'm down to play that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should make a plan.
Okay, so that is my,
Get our Tina on.
yeah. Okay, what's your next news?
Oh,
News
right, yeah.
bit.
I kind of need to look at that.
Goodbye.
New Switch.
What?
New
Oh,
Switch
the new
Pro
Switch.
rumors.
Yes.
So, I mean,
Bam.
there's that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a lot of fucking smoke
Oh
coming out
my
of this.
God, there's
Um,
some big fires that's going on
uh,
here.
New report on the Nintendo Switch Pro coming from Bloomberg this time. Um, yeah, basically a lot of these same details that we've heard before, that it will be a new model. It will feature 4K output. And I say output because I don't suspect the console to actually even hit anywhere close to 4K. especially because the rumors are now suggesting that it's going to use the same Tegra chip, which means no power performance boost and
Yeah.
definitely no DLSS. So yeah,
Yeah,
uh, I
that's
think I think the 4K output is, like I've said in the past, just so if you hook it up to a 4K TV, things like your UI and menus are in 4K, which is
mm,
nice. Or that the console does the upscaling instead of depending on the TV doing the upscaling, which
yeah.
is usually a lot better. So
Yeah.
that's cool. The one part of this report that I think is super super interesting is that it will apparently feature an OLED screen from Samsung.
Mhm.
Um, and that it will be bigger. So the Switch Pro has a 5 point, it doesn't say in this article. I think it's like
It's like
5.6
5.6 or
inch
something,
screen,
yeah.
and the new one apparently is 7 inch. So what that means is the dimensions of the console stay the same, but your bezels will just shrink.
Yeah.
You'll have more of an edge-to-edge screen. And then obviously OLED, you have better contrast ratios. It just looks better. The initial version of the Vita actually had an OLED screen, and they
Mm,
changed to LCD in later models. And there's a huge difference between the two.
mm.
But also, OLED is more power efficient, so
Better
battery life
battery life,
should be
yeah.
better. And the fact that they're sticking to 720p on the handheld display, I think, is the perfect choice for people who want higher resolution on there. Firstly, think about games already running docked that are struggling to hit 1080p with good frame rates.
Mm,
Now imagine that on a handheld form factor. And also,
yeah.
the screen is so small that resolution doesn't matter nearly as much as pixel density. And
Yeah.
at 720p on that display, your pixel density is so high that it's on par with Apple's Retina displays. So, like,
Mm.
it will not
It
make a
doesn't make a
difference. You will
difference,
not.
yeah.
It's the same as laptop companies putting 4K panels in 13-inch monitors. It is ludicrous. Like, you do not need that. Um,
So you mean to tell me when my iPhone says it's got a 4K screen, I just shouldn't care?
Yes, 100%.
It's so
Pixel density
ridiculous.
is far more important.
But
It's
it's
it's why
4K.
like no, it's why like, when you buy a monitor, you should be looking at pixel density. Resolution is important there, but if you're buying, say, a 27-inch monitor, uh 1080p on 27 inches is not ideal because it's stretching that resolution out across
Yeah.
more pixels. So your density is much lower. Whereas 1440p there makes more sense. A 1440p monitor that is 24 inches makes zero sense because a 1080p one
Doesn't
there
make a
has really
difference,
good
yeah.
pixel density. So, it's those trade offs. So I just saw a lot of people bemoaning 720p and just, no, you don't understand it. You just don't understand.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
yeah, Bloomberg reports that this thing is still being planned for launch in 2021, and that production is slated to start in June.
You know,
Obviously, COVID could definitely change all of that. But yeah,
it always blows my mind because I hear 2021, I'm like, damn, it's only next year. And I realize
yeah,
we're in March 2021. I'm like,
yeah,
damn.
we're already
Oh my
a
god.
quarter of the way through 2021. Can
Like
you fucking
this is
believe it?
coming out in 2022. I'm like, man, that's 2 years away. That's so far. Like, come on. Okay, I need you to explain to me this drama here. The Sinking City developer claims the game is illegally uploaded to Steam by Nacon. So my understanding, very top level, is that this studio made a game. There was some dispute or something with the publisher, I think, and then the publisher somehow took the game and uploaded it without the developer's knowledge. Like, am I
Yes.
understanding that correctly?
Okay, so this is actually a long, winding debacle,
Is it a
which
rabbit hole? I know.
is nicely summarized here by Darren.
Oh boy.
Uh, so essentially, the game came out. It's a Cthulhu game. I really don't care much for the actual game, but the
Mm.
debacle around it is big. So essentially, the developer Frogwares, they accuse the publisher Nancon of withholding funds during the development.
Okay. Hmm.
And because of that, Frogwares then terminated their contract with the publisher, and the game was delisted from Steam. That was a few months ago.
Yeah.
So then the publisher took Frogwares, the developer, to court,
Hmm.
saying that the original content needed to be upheld.
Hmm.
Um, the game then returned to Steam on February 26th without the knowledge of Frogwares. Frogwares then realized what had happened and literally on the Steam page told fans to avoid purchasing that version and instead acquire it from other digital distribution platforms because they were getting no money from that version. Especially because that version, it turns out, wasn't a version they had approved. It was a version that publisher Nancon had essentially pirated. A game that they published, they pirated and put it back on Steam so that they could earn money from it. And now Frogwares issued a like basically a copyright takedown of their own game on Steam. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, the game is not on Steam because of that copyright dispute.
Man,
What a fucking mess.
let me see. Sinking City, Steam. Let's have a look here.
Yeah, Frogwares claims that Nancom bought a copy of the game on Games Planet, illegally altered it, and then distributed it on Steam.
Oh, that's so funny. I see it in Google, but if I click on it, it just takes me to the Steam homepage.
Yeah, I think it was removed. I think that's
Amazing.
the latest.
Yeah.
That's the latest updates on the story. What a fucking mess, though.
My
And just
God,
like,
yeah.
wow, Nancon, they really are making a
That
name for
is.
themselves as a publisher to just never work with ever.
What other sort of games are there any other notable? Is Nacon the same company who does like the Nacon controller? Was that just a coincidence?
I think it is. So Nacon Gaming, peripherals and video games.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they do controllers
See
as
what
well.
video games they did. They did Werewolf the Apocalypse, that game that came out really
recently.
recently. Handball 2021. Okay. World Rally 9, WRC. So those are actually good games.
Yeah.
They've done some Warhammer games like Warhammer Chaos Bane and Warhammer
Okay, so
40,000.
they've got some big hitters under their belt. Not like these massive games,
Later,
but yeah.
Rugby 20, Tennis World Tour 2. Yeah, so you know,
Okay. Yeah.
Sinking City is not listed on their website. Shocker.
God forbid. So if
But
I wanted to buy the
I know
Sinking
them
City,
all from
though,
their accessories, like you said, the controller that they put out like a sort of like a pro controller for the PS4.
Yeah. So I suppose if I wanted to buy the Sinking City, could I buy it on Epic, for example, or any other platform?
I don't know where else it's on sale.
That's wild.
Yeah, you could. They basically just say don't buy the Steam version because
yeah.
that's not what they approved. Wow. What a mess though. It's on Origin, I see here.
That is quite something though.
Store, yeah.
Okay, so it's available in other places.
It's available, yeah.
Wild.
Again, it's not a game that's good enough to like require this much attention, but the attention itself.
It's there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sales are gonna like skyrocket now, weirdly enough.
Oh yeah.
Because people be people, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we fly through the rest? Because we are running out of time.
So next bit of news: Epic Games bought Fall Guys developer Mediatonic. Oh my god, this header, these baked beans. I feel like Jeff is personally responsible for
the baked beans epidemic.
The baked bean epidemic. I know Darren's like 100% his accomplice in this, but still. That's pretty cool though. I mean, Fall Guys, I think I haven't played it personally for many months. I like really put dozens of hours into the game when it came out, but I have
still lives rent free in my head though.
It's but I have such an admiration for the studio and the way they're like this game into the zeitgeist, and it just stay there because they've done such interesting stuff, like on social media. Their community managers deserve like all the money in the world. Yeah.
Did you see they added to the
don't even bring that up, please.
That they eat through their feet.
Eat through their feet. Why? Why do we need to know that?
I love the anatomy of a Fall Guy.
Oh
it's
my God.
amazing and terrifying at the same time.
So they've been picked up by Epic, which kind of makes sense. It seems like the sort of studio that Epic would snap up.
Yeah.
And good for them. Like I really think Fall Guys has done well, and I think it's cool that they've now been snapped up by Epic.
It seems identical to Epic's plan with Psyonix, the developer
of Rocket League.
Yeah, just like take this immensely popular online game and now give them the money to I don't know, continue supporting battle passes. Maybe it goes free to play. Who knows?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Interesting to see.
So they've been bought out by Epic. We had a PSVR showcase, which I don't. The only thing I know they showed, well, the one that I remember is Doom 3 VR edition, which
Yeah,
is
so a lot
cool.
of these games were announced for Quest as well.
Okay.
So they're not exclusive to PSVR, but it is cool to see, Sony taking the time to showcase 6 PSVR games
Yeah.
at this
So
time. Yeah, Doom 3 VR edition. Cool.
Song in the Smoke.
That looks pretty cool. It looks almost like a thriller horror thing, I think, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Yeah, that looks pretty
Uh, Fracked.
fracked. What's that about?
A mountain fracking facility that has been taken over by an army of gun-wielding interdimensional maniacs known as the titular Fracked.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So I guess it's a shooter.
Shooter? Yeah.
I expect you to die too. The Spy and the Liar also looks like.
Expectation to Die is really fun. So yeah,
Did you play the first one?
yeah, it's really, really fun.
Oh my gosh, Zenith, which is also a first-person MMO RPG. Oh my god.
Okay. That is bold for
Yeah.
uh, wow. Yeah, an MMO on a platform where you don't want to keep the thing on for more than like an hour, and also where your customer base is very small.
That's quite something.
That's interesting. I'm curious, but yeah, wow.
And then After the Fall, which is another FPS with 4-player co-op.
Brought to you by the team that did Arizona Sunshine, which was like a zombie shooter. So Arizona
Okay.
Sunshine was pretty cool. So yeah, okay.
Cool. Last
Coming
bit of
out throughout 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sony wants to turn bananas into controllers.
Yeah, there was
That's
a patent that got discovered this week regarding Sony's plans for its next VR controllers for its PSVR 2, and beyond, the plans for its controllers to feature like dual sense functionality and be more dedicated VR controllers. They have this idea of being able to turn any inanimate peripheral object around you into a controller. So
mm,
the picture in the patent was like taking a banana and being able to map controller functions to a banana, which is fascinating. This is how they fix their drift issue.
I
If your
mean,
DualShock 5 breaks, just use a banana.
not even a week or two, we had or I suppose it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had news of somebody speedrunning Hades with pomegranates. So
True.
listen,
It's
Sony are
true.
just straight up copying ideas. Okay, people have had banana controllers and fruit controllers for a long time already.
To be fair, Sony created the original banana controller. Remember that old PS3 prototype?
I saw that tweet going around. I was like, that's hilarious. It's like they did this already. Like,
Circle,
come on.
full circle. This was their plan all
Oh
along.
my god. There's a new Alien game coming out called Aliens Fireteam, which is a
Yeah,
co-op third-person shooter. It looks really fun.
it looks like Left 4 Dead, so I'm keen
In
to give it a
the
go.
in that universe. So yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a 4-player co-op third-person shooter. It's out American summer 2021, so our winter.
Hmm.
Um, and the footage looks good. It visually looks okay.
Yeah.
And it could be a fun shooter, because the
Hmm.
last time we got an alien shooter, it was Colonial Marines, and that fucking sucked.
Boo.
That game really sucked. So,
And then last bit of news: Marvel's Avengers is increasing the ground required to level up in the next
and I
update,
don't fucking get this. I just
which is
don't get it. Like, you've got a game where people are looking for more reasons to play. Like, you're releasing new content, but at the same time, there's not enough incentive to continue. I mean, incentive's the wrong word, because I just found the game straight up boring, and that's a more core issue than I think these little tweaks can
yeah,
change. But if you've got a struggling fan base, the to me, the idea is to incentivize more people to come in and see new things, not make those new things more difficult to obtain
yeah,
by artificially increasing the grind. I just don't fucking get it. Like, I don't understand. And it seems like the people who actually play the game, based on what I've seen on the Reddit and whatever, also don't understand, you know, Like, why was this the choice made? So yeah, whatever.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. It's
After seeing EA gut Anthem, I wouldn't be shocked if in a year this goes the same route because
I don't know. It's such an interesting scenario because my God, that video is lagging so hard. Let me just scroll up there. I don't know. It's such an interesting thing because I think Marvel's like a big enough name that it does have a dedicated fan base. Like there are people who enjoy the game, 100%.
I mean
And
the game is one of the best selling ones of 2020 for sure. But
yeah,
how many people are still playing?
yeah. So like, I don't think that a lot of people are still playing necessarily, but I do think that so look, there are DLC packs coming, and so I think we've got the Kate Bishop one
It's already out.
already out, and then there's the Hawkeye one coming out,
That's out of
and
yeah.
no disrespect to the characters, like if you like them, cool, but I can't tell you that I get excited to dive back in to play Hawkeye or Kate Bishop. Like
No.
honestly, that's just I'm not at all. Even movies, just raw character, I'm like they're not exciting to me. But I do wonder like what sort of player numbers will you pull in? I mean, we know that there is supposed to be Black Panther, but then with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, like I think they pushed it back, which I thought that's
Mm,
very
mm.
respectful of them, very cool. But I do think when that drops, you probably will get some people diving back in because
I
it's
mean
like
there's going to
cool.
be Spider-Man coming as
Yeah,
well for
so
PlayStation. Like
it's such a like a gray, not a gray area. It's like it seems very unpredictable at the moment because I'm like there are these packs coming, and I do believe that if you put Spider-Man in, you will draw characters like not characters, you will draw players back in. For how
mm.
long, I don't know, but like if you're laying the groundwork to keep players invested, I don't think increasing the grind required is the right move. Like I played Avengers, I thought the story was quite cool. I enjoyed the story, but I had like zero desire to go back and carry on playing. But
Yeah.
now, if you tell me, cool, Spider-Man's here, Spider-Man's here, and if you want to swing through New York for whatever reason, you need to hit level 50. And I know that the grind to level 50 has been made harder. I just
Mm.
straight up won't play the game. Like I have
But
no interest.
that's the thing. It's like even without this grind increase, it's like if a character came out, it would probably prompt me to boot up the game for an hour
To
and
try
then
it out,
play it
yeah.
again because like the core gameplay of that thing is boring.
Mm,
I just find the combat so stale and like the enemies just so mundane. Like
mm.
to
It needs,
me as a big Marvel fan, and I can't speak to the entire fan base of this game, obviously, because there are people who enjoy it, but it really just wasn't what I I wanted from this
mm,
sort of game, you know.
yeah,
And I think the problem starts with it trying to be a live service game, straight up. Like
yeah,
it just should have never been that.
yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. EA threw a lot of money at Anthem, and Anthem, when it
My
started
God.
out, went through the same sort of thing where they had a roadmap of content. That roadmap started getting delays every now and then it just became vague. Like,
Mm,
and as soon as that happened, then it was, a few months after they were like, "We're shutting down content updates and we're working on a reboot." And I don't think that's impossible here.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I
We
just
will
don't
see.
understand this change.
Yeah.
But
That
anyway, there are
that
other games to
is
play. That's new games.
that's
Oh, sorry, that's news.
news is done.